It is. The time is now 7:23, and we're ready to start. Good evening. Good evening. It's great to see all of you on and all of us here, sending out blessings. We'll start out with the welcome, which I think we've accomplished. We have a mission statement for Committee 3, which goes as follows. Much of a community board's work takes place in committee meetings. Recently, we condensed our committees, and committee number 3 is Education and Youth Services, Health and Human Services, Library and Cultural Affairs. Education and Youth Services Committee collaborates with public and private schools, colleges and universities, teachers and parents, or guardians, along with all community stakeholders, to ensure positive educational outcomes for our community. The goal is to improve educational service provided to the community in our district and collaborate with the communities in the borough and liaising with city agencies providing youth services. Human and Health Services evaluates health programs and city agency service to promote health awareness and disseminate information to local groups and community residents. Libraries and Cultural Affairs liaises with New York Public Libraries to increase community awareness of services and resources offered. Seeks opportunity to showcase local cultural assets through exhibits and community outreach. The community health focus. We'll start with Dr. Sherry Samuels.
Good evening, everybody. You can hear me?
Yes. Good evening.
Perfect. So our community health focus that we're going to be doing for tonight, and also for the full board meeting, will be for National Diabetes Month. That's going to be our community health focus. So you want me to start now, Tony, with the presentation?
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now I have to figure out how to add this PowerPoint. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'm sorry.
All right, so I'll be presenting. You should be able to share your screen.
I'm not a WebEx person. I don't know how to do this.
Are you okay, Dr. Sherry, or are you able to share?
No, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm having a hard time.
You don't see in the middle it says share?
Yeah, I see the share.
So click it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay. I think I got it. And then we're gonna hit this, then we're gonna hit share. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now I didn't want to show this view because I don't know how to do the other view, the slideshow view. So
Dr. Sherry, if you go to the top right hand corner where it says share, right next to share it says present.
Yeah.
Oh, Perfect. And do presenter view.
Present. No, not presenter view because that'll show you your view. Just hit present. Present full screen.
Full screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see where it says, yeah, exactly. Hit that. There we go.
Got it. Okay. Oh, nice. You can see it?
Thank you, Daryl.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. So this is National Diabetes Month for the month of November. Diabetes affects a lot of people, populations, especially African Americans, Latinos, all of our black and brown people. It affects a lot.
Sorry, Dr. Sherry.
So
I don't know if you see
sorry,
the thing on the screen that there is like an audience window. Is that on your end, or is just
the audio.
do you see anything on your screen? It's a screen on your screen. It says audience window. Do you see that or no?
No, I
It
just see
might
the
be
time.
it might be behind your screen, Dr. Sherry. If you're on if you minimize the window you're on right now, it might be behind whatever window you have in front of you.
Oh, enter full screen
Yeah,
mode.
there
That.
we go. Yep,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Now we're good.
Okay, perfect. So this month is National Diabetes Month, and we decided to do this because diabetes affects all of us, black, brown. It affects us. It affects us because of our diets, ways that we have inherited, food, culture. Um, like I said, it affects all of us. So with today, what I will be talking about is the core concepts. So we're going to be looking at the definition of diabetes. We're going to be looking at the causes, the two types of diabetes, symptoms that patients usually exhibit, and the management. How do we manage diabetes? So diabetes basically is a disease that occurs because our blood glucose levels, or also known as our blood sugar levels, which is like the lay term, are too high. The normal blood glucose level is normally between 70 to 110. But with diabetes, you will see blood glucose levels as high as 500. And this disease, when it's very high, it affects all of our systems in our body. It affects our eyes, it affects our heart, and most of all, it affects our kidneys. So we have two different types of diabetes. We have type 1, and this is where the insulin is not being secreted by the pancreas. So for whatever reason, cause the pancreas to fail. Now, a lot of myths behind it is that if you eat a lot of sugar, eventually the pancreas does give out, which is true because the pancreas over time is an organ and it is constantly working to give out insulin. Anything that you eat, a piece of bread, a piece of candy, causes your pancreas to secrete insulin because the body knows that it has to maintain that blood glucose level between 70 to 110. And then we have type 2. Now, with type 2 diabetes, this is where there's an insufficient amount of insulin. The pancreas still secretes insulin, but it's maybe just a small amount, or maybe the amount that it does secrete is not appropriate. It's not working enough to help to lower that blood glucose level between 70 to 110. You will see type 1, which we used to call it children's onset, or, with children, we used to see it. Now we see adults also developing type 1. So with type 1 type 1 diabetes, insulin is needed for these patients. These patients, you will notice that they have a special type. They're very slim. And when you have type 1 diabetes, it can be very deadly if it is not controlled properly. Type 2, we see it, and we used to call it adult onset diabetes. This type of diabetes uses diet and it uses medication and exercise to help maintain it. Because, like I said before, the body is making insulin, but just not enough. So now with type 1, we use insulin. Now, insulin, we know, is a synthetic form of it that the pancreas doesn't secrete. So now the patient will use a synthetic form, from the manufacturers, of course, to help lower the blood glucose. Type 2, the number one medication we all hear everybody is on is like metformin. Along with diet, which is like a high protein diet, low carbohydrate diet, limit amount of salt, and exercise, which is recommended by the American Dietetic Association, which is 30 minutes, 5 days a week for a total of 150 minutes to help maintain blood glucose levels within parameters. Symptoms of diabetes. So if you notice anybody that they have frequent urination, that they might have some weight loss, they might say that their mouth feels very dry, they're always thirsty. Some patients will say to you, or people will say to you, that they feel like their mouth has cotton in it. A lot of people, especially with type 1, they're always hungry, because what happens is the blood sugar now is circulating out of the cells and not inside where it needs to be fed. And this is what also causes people to lose weight. And a lot of patients will complain of dry mouth. Now, how do we manage diabetes? So managing it is very important because you want to prevent the long-term effects of it. The organ damage that it does, it can cause glaucoma with patients. It causes patients to become blind. It causes heart disease. It can cause a heart attack with patients. And the biggest thing that we see now, what's happening with diabetes, which it causes, is patients going on dialysis. Because what happens is over time, the kidneys cannot tolerate the high glucose. And the kidneys, what they do is they try to get rid of the sugar that's inside of the body. So with them overworking over time, constantly working, they too give out. And once they give out, this is when the patient will need to be maintained on dialysis. So we have different ways we control our blood glucose. Patients can use an insulin pump. And this insulin pump is usually prescribed by the doctor. And this is normally given for patients who have type 1. The middle picture shows a picture of a glucometer. And this is what patients need to check their blood glucose daily. Any number that's higher than 110 is considered diabetic. And that has to be fasting. Fasting meaning that you haven't eaten when that blood test was checked. And then urine sticks. And this also helps to detect when there's glucose in your urine. So whenever there's glucose in the urine, we know that the blood glucose level in the body is very high because now the kidneys are working to get rid of that glucose. And that's it from the health committee. So with everything that was said, eat right, make sure you get your exercise, make sure you drink your water, and try to limit the amount of sugar that you take in. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sherry. That's a great presentation. I love the visuals.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's gonna be, just a freeze over of diabetes, and you also have gestational diabetes. You know, that happens when people are just diabetic when they're pregnant. And the whole just lifestyle change. It's just that when you have diabetes now, it could be reversed. Because diabetes is one of those diseases because it affects your blood vessels and affects your kidneys, can take you out a limited time. It's when you start seeing people getting amputations if you don't correct it.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
Yes. Only type 2 is reversible.
Yes.
You look amazing, Dr. Sherry. It looks so good and the information was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna go to the next thing on the list. The principal Joseph Burnett. Bernat, are you on?
Yep, I'm here. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you for Leaders of Tomorrow Middle School.
Yes, I'm going to share a quick presentation, but I just want to thank you for the opportunity to present this evening. Let's see, is that full screen for you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, so I'm Joseph Biernat. I'm the principal at Leaders of Tomorrow Middle School. And just want to first thank you for your support last year as we merged the two middle schools on our campus. And that has been a success. We were slated to have 575 students this year and are now over 705 students. So what you see a lot about the enrollment in New York City isn't something that's been impacting our campus, and I think the merger is something that allowed us to do that. Going forward, we now have a proposal to add to a high school grade for our school. It will be the first 612 school in District 11 and in this area of the Bronx. So what this does is it gives parents another option in terms of the type of school model that they want, both for middle school and high school choice. This expansion is going to be a partnership between 3 organizations in the school. The first is called the Iovine and Young Center. It's a high school out of California, founded by Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young, also known as Dr. Dre. They've partnered with an organization called XQ to help them roll out their model nationwide, including our school. And then we're partnered with the New York City New Schools. And so the goal of this expansion is really to build off of the success that they've had in their other schools and offer this model to New York City. So we will be the New York City sort of flagship as they continue to roll out schools across the country. What the mission of our school will be is to make sure that we create an exceptional learning space where students can be empowered, can explore their unique interests, and the vision that we have to do this is really to use an innovative educational model that I'll talk more about as the presentation goes on. So again, I'm Joseph Biernot. I've been a principal for 8 years now on this campus. I've worked for 15 years in our district and have been sort of at the forefront of trying to make sure that what we offer as leaders of tomorrow is truly innovative for our students. And last year we had the first year-long middle school course, I think in the country, specifically focused on artificial intelligence and its applications for all of our 8th graders. And so the expansion into the high school grades will continue on that trajectory. So as I said, the partnership that is going to sort of inspire the work as we become a high school is based on the work of Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. But this will not be a music school. This is not a hip hop school. Their design is very much focused on the experience they had when they started Beats and sold Beats to Apple, and what they experienced in not being able to hire the workforce that they needed as readily as they wanted to in all communities. And so the goal is to make sure that when we're looking at music, if we're looking at music, we're looking at it from a business or production standpoint rather than the creation of music. And this will partner well with a hip hop school that they're actually opening farther south in the Bronx, connected to the Museum of Hip Hop. And so there will be some parallel, hopefully, in the work that we can do across those 2 schools, but our school will be very much focused on the disruptive technologies, design thinking, and really trying to build on students' use of creativity to design prototypes. The model that we'll be using is something called challenge-based learning. And this sort of builds on what you've seen in education around project and problem-based learning, making sure that it goes into the workspace. So what they've been able to do is leverage their connections in industry. They've worked with firms such as Apple and Mattel in California to make sure that students have opportunities to solve problems in the real world that are connected to challenges that businesses are facing, whether they be small or large. And so what makes challenge-based learning difficult is all of the things that have to be in place before you do it. And so we believe as starting in 6th grade and beginning to offer the professionalization, is what they call it, skills that students need. By the time they reach their senior year, they'll be fully able to participate in a challenge-based learning experience in a workplace or a nonprofit. So across their 3 schools currently, they have 3 different CTE tracks in all of the schools, and those are around design, innovation, technology literacy, and business fundamentals. And then they offer 2 other pathways in each city, depending on what the needs are in that community and what access to industry is for those schools. So as we're working with them and the Office of New Schools and Pathways Department at the Department of Education, we'll be exploring what are the needs in the community and what are the opportunities that students have to be able to access industry and jobs in a meaningful way. So again, in order to do this, we have to make sure that they are consistently experiencing what it means to work in industry. And the way they do this is something called impact labs, where they build from year to year on the skills, the soft skills that students need in order to compete and participate in that. And so what this looks like in practice is during the freshman year, students typically are looking at design, so either through Photoshop, Illustrator, photography, really looking at what does it mean to design something. Moving into the sophomore year is much more around how do you then leverage computational frameworks and programming to continue the development of those skills. In the junior year, they apply this more to prototyping. So one of their core concepts is every student needs to create a prototype of something that solves a problem in the world. And the junior year is a whole idea of prototyping. And then the senior year is their garage experience, is what they call it, where they do a capstone project that's either in industry or working with a nonprofit to solve a real world problem. And so this school will offer 2 different pathways for enrollment. The first will be for any 5th grader in New York City can apply to join our middle school. And those middle schoolers will then be given priority access to the high school. So any of the 8th graders currently enrolled at Leaders of Tomorrow who choose first on the high school application will automatically be guaranteed a spot in this school. So it is designed to serve the community and the students who are here. And then the other pathway is to apply directly to our 9th grade for the upcoming year. And that is open to any student citywide. And that application process opened last week. So I think this is an amazing opportunity for both our campus, which has shown tremendous growth over the past decade, but also for the community as a whole in terms of additional offering of a high school that will provide innovative opportunities and I think unique opportunities in New York City for our students. So thank you all, and I appreciate the time to be able to share with your team.
So much. I appreciate you. We have a question.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking more the logistics of the school. This is the old Richard Green School, right?
Correct.
And you just expanded the school from being 3 or 4 different schools into one school now over this past year. And that was just going from 6th grade to 8th grade, right?
Correct.
And we want to expand it go into the high school part, into the 12th grade. How now we're talking security issues here, and I know the school hasn't had the greatest reputation. So how has it been in all of these kids now being on one campus as one school?
I mean, I think from the kid perspective, it's gone incredibly well. Incidents as a whole on the campus continue to be down this year. So student culture-wise, I think there's excitement around it. I think what's also been great is because we are a larger school, we're now able to offer more things. So we were able to hire a dance teacher. We're able to offer coding and robotics to every student on the campus. So it's given students a much richer experience because we are larger as one community, and I think that's resulted in a better student experience overall. That's not to say it's not without its challenges. We're certainly still figuring out how we all work together as adults, which is more difficult often than working with the students. But I think overall, as mergers go, it's been a successful start to the year. But we do continue to know the history of the campus, and I think that's something really important to address. Is we had tremendous space. So this is a campus that has can serve 1,400 students, and we only have 700 students at present. And so something was going to come to our campus. And so like we've had about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a charter school who tried to come in and offer seats to actually to students in Yonkers and Mount Vernon, and didn't look to serve the community. And so I think what's really important is something's going to be put onto our campus, and the fact that we're able to use it strategically to serve the students and make sure that the families are served by the offering is really important to me, and I think the students who are here now.
So we have the equipment and the updated, you know, because these are all advanced programs. So I'm asking, do you have, what is the teacher-student ratio? And do we have like the smart boards, the tablets, the computers, the robotic, you know, like up-to-date equipment for these kids, for these children? I don't want to keep calling them kids, to be able to excel within these different areas.
Yeah, so that's a continuous investment, and I think that's where we've been able to leverage the electives very successfully. So we currently have about 750,000 in Reso A money set aside to expand the technology as needed, and we'll be working with the Iovine and Young group as well as new schools to figure out how to best allocate that money. We also were just granted, I don't know if people have seen the news about the mayor rolling out devices to schools. We were selected as a school that will have a one-to-one device, so there will be 705 devices coming from the mayor's office, so that each of our students has a one-to-one device as of December. And then what's great about the organizations, and these are organizations with deep pockets, and they want to invest because they will be putting their name on this. And so there's an initial commitment of $250,000 a year for the first 5 years, just from the Iovine and Young Center. And there'll be additional monies coming both from new schools as well as Project XQ. Because in order to do this work, you do have to have the resources. And so it's not just something that we can do as a school budget, but it is something that through the use of electives, through the use of industry partners, I think we can strategically make sure that students do have the access to the equipment and pathways that they need.
Okay, great. That sounds promising.
No,
There's another question.
Carol Singleton, you can ask your question.
Yes, thank you. I've been an educator for a long time, and it sounds quite wonderful. I have two questions. One is, are you currently implementing the curriculum you described that relate to creativity and real world situations now?
So right now we have just 6th through 8th graders. And so our capstone project in 8th grade is how students can use artificial intelligence to solve a problem in their lives. So last year, that was the first year that we launched that last year. We had students create translation bots. We had students who created financial literacy courses in their native languages, using artificial intelligence to solve problems that they and their families were experiencing. So we definitely don't have the experience of how to do this in a high school, but we do have the foundations that we've been laying for our students in terms of a trajectory to be prepared to enter that. So it's going to be 4 years that we roll this out. So next year we'll just start with a 9th grade, and then each additional year will add up to 12th grade. So part of this will be building it as the students grow, but there is a huge design component in the next 9 months so that we are ready to open in September for the 9th grade. That's the work between new schools and all of the partners.
So is the Iovine and Young group the ones that are helping you develop the curriculum as you expand to each grade level?
Correct. So they have their sort of design framework for curriculum, as well as modules at each grade. And some of them are used differently in each city. So as of next year, they'll have 8 locations. So they provide a framework, and then based on the needs of each individual state and city that they're in, they modify that to meet the needs of getting students to make sure that they graduate, but also making sure that they graduate with something more than a diploma. And that's one thing that all the organizations are talking about, and sort of a model. Like, if students only graduate with a diploma, we failed to get kids where they need to go with all of these resources. So we want every student to make sure that not only do they have a high school diploma, but they also have some sort of CTE certificate when they leave, so that they have a better pathway to career and to college. But direct to career pathways is also a priority.
I think it sounds like an exciting opportunity. The one last thing I wanted to say today is I wanted to actually make a recommendation. When I was working at Washington Irving High School and developed their graphic design program, one of the things we did was reach out to businesses in the area and get internships and opportunities for kids to actually work after school or during the summer for organizations that were related to their learning. I would highly suggest, in such a great curriculum that you're going to implement, something like that for your school.
Yeah, that's absolutely a priority. And one of the things that they talk about in that professionalism sort of module that they have, that every student has some sort of a workplace opportunity, whether it be a short-term placement or students who are ahead in credits may actually have a full year placement in their senior year.
That sounds quite wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the ideas as well.
Okay, Daryl.
Hey, how you doing? I guess my only question was, what exactly, like, I guess, like, what about other careers for these students, right? Because, like, I guess what kind of degree of college readiness would they get if they get to the school, they change their mind, they say, I want to be a psychologist, I want to go into tech, I want to do something else. Like, what are how are they going to get prepared for college if they were still to take like an ACT, a SAT, and things of that nature? I guess is really what my question is. Or
Yeah,
is that just not the plan?
yeah, absolutely no. So one of the core tenets is academic rigor, and all of the things that I spoke about are on top of that. So we want to make sure that students are prepared for any career that they choose. And so, as I said, there's 3 pathways that they have in every school, but then there's also 2 pathways in addition to that that are designed based on the needs of the community. So we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of students, but also because we'll have close to 500 high school students at full capacity, making sure that there's a large enough industry that can support those experiences for students. But at the core of this is ideas around creativity, design thinking, prototyping, and those are transferable skills. So not every student may pursue a path in college that's aligned to one of those CTEs. It's the thinking that underlines that work that I think sets this model sort of apart from other things that we've seen in the community.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we're gonna move this along. I know we have Javid next, but we're gonna have Jordan Stewart have a quick um, introduction. Yes. So are you on, Jordan?
Yes, I am.
Cool. So
Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Stewart. I am a filmmaker and film producer from Mount Vernon, New York. I want to thank Miss Tallene again for having me up here. I know she has been a force in the community for a very long time. I want to say, and Miss Tallene, you can correct me. I want to say in like 2017 or 2018, I was a recipient of the BxCB12 scholarship. But a little bit about my journey is I fell in love with filmmaking my sophomore year of high school. And from there, I would shoot whatever I could, sports, promos. I would do slideshows. And then I want to say entering my senior year of high school, I had a internship with the NYU Film School. For those who don't know, they are the second or the top 3 best film programs in the world. And from there, I was able to start my own film production company called J Films. Let me see if I could share my screen and see if I could share this website real quick. Let me know if you guys can see that.
Yes.
Yes.
So I started my own production company in 2018, my junior year of high school. I graduated high school in the COVID class of 2020. So that shook up my whole college trajectory. I ended up at a school called Quinnipiac in Hampton, Connecticut. For those who don't know, it's right around the corner from Yale and Sacred Heart. And from there, I had a slew of internships. I had an internship in California with the Bob Marley Company, and over there, I helped make the the biopic that came out. I want to say February of 2024 with Paramount Pictures. Um, And in my time at Quinnipiac, I shot a few commercials for ESPN, for some companies out in California. I've worked closely with a few small schools and companies in Mount Vernon. And currently today, I am a film producer at NFL Films. And there I work extremely closely with HBO Max, NFL Network, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and yeah.
Well, thank you for sure.
Thank you.
Great, great introduction, and great work. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Jordan. It was very important. I needed to bring in some young blood.
Thank you for doing it.
Yeah. Make sure that part of the part of this committee is youth services. So I just wanted everybody to shine a little light on you today.
Thank you so much.
I,
I can't see you guys. My screen went white, but I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Hi, this is Carol Singleton, and I'm very I think it's wonderful to hear about how your career has, the path your career has taken, and what you're doing right now. I'm just wondering, because I'm always thinking about my students and the young people I work with. If I ever had someone that was interested in doing an internship, is it something that you would consider?
I have thought of. I don't know if I would call it an internship just yet, but I'm always looking for extra hands on deck. Um, I my months are typically swarmed with shoots, and that's all over the tri-state. I think so. I'm 23 years old right now. I think probably in like the next 3 years, I could probably do an internship program. I think for right now, what I could do is probably bring on like one or two kids and have them as a production assistant. And there I would bring them on set, bring them in the editing rooms, bring them in the screenwriters' rooms, and just have them absorb, ask questions, and just see the whole filmmaking process as a whole. And the industry is changing rapidly, especially now with AI. But I think for right now, I could probably bring on two younger folks and just help them help me. So
That would be wonderful, and maybe Tarlene will hook us up.
yes, hopefully.
I have just one question before we move on. I know you said
No
you do a
problem.
lot of film stuff, so I was just thinking how you could connect with us to help us also, because we love showcasing our community in different ways. My they call us the dream team. My co-partner, we do a lot of social media stuff, and we definitely want to make sure that we're showcasing our community in the best light that we can. So if there's any way that we can all connect so that we can make our community look even better than what we know it is, that would be like really amazing.
No problem. Again, I can't see. I guess after I shared my screen, it kind of took me away from the panel. I can hear you guys. I just can't see you. But if Miss Tolleen, if you want to put my email in the chat, um, and then those folks who want to reach out can. But how I can help the community right now, my schedule is pretty. I'm booked up. I'm with the NFL right now up until the Super Bowl, which I believe is February 8th. And then my contract with them ends in June. So the months I would be free are from July up until probably October of 2026. Within that time frame, I can work closely with whoever needs any type of content that can go for uh, a promo for school, a commercial, event photography, videography. I also do graphic web design as well. For those who are interested, my email is Jordan Stewart, NYC at gmail.com. Miss Tolleen, if you can put that in the chat, and those folks who would like
Yes, I
to.
did. I just put it in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Mark. That's
Thank you
Mark's name.
again.
No problem.
Hi, Jordan. This is Karen. Karen Skinny Parts from First Baptist Church.
How are you? I know your face. I know that voice. I just can't see you right now. I just can't see you right now. But how are you though?
I saw the name Jordan Stewart, and I'm looking at your face. You can't see me, but I can see you, and I'm like, I know that baby.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good, and this sounds actually wonderful, and we could definitely use your help to help us look great.
No problem.
Knowing that you're great, I
Guys
know
need,
that
let
you
me
can
know.
do it.
Whatever you guys need, let me know.
We got you, and we're holding you to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again. All right, so next up we're gonna have Javad.
I love you.
All right. Thanks so much, Alpha.
I love you too.
Thanks so much, Alpha, for the introduction. And thank you, Jordan, again, for sharing your talents with the board and helping our community shine brighter and through our visual medium. So thank you again for that. So my agenda items that I'm here to talk to everybody here today, I have three things that I would like to share with you all today. The first being a proposition for our community board to start logging the issues that are brought to the board during our general board meetings and our committee meetings in a joint this is an idea that I had, a joint spreadsheet that is available for the public to see. So that way we can keep track of the issues that are coming at hand to our community board, as well as track to what extent they're being resolved and monitor trends in the issues that are being brought forward. And this is a spreadsheet that is going to be data validated and I'll be sharing at the next general board meeting if it passes through this committee. And essentially what it will be is that it'll track what type of person has brought the issue to the board, whether that be a board member, a community member, an interest holder, the issue, the category of the issue, whether that be illegal dumping, violent crime that's ongoing, or an incident or aftermath of a violent crime, parking or traffic issues, public health concerns, substance use concerns, our infrastructure, schools and education services, and unhoused individuals, and just affordability. And this will help us keep track of all of the issues that come to our board, because we have a slew of many people that come to our board from every general board meeting and mini meeting, and they come and they speak on mic in our public gallery sessions. And one of the points that I thought would be very valuable is for us to start tracking these and the categories they're in. So I wanted to bring this up right now and see what your thoughts were on whether this would be valuable for us.
It definitely is valuable.
Yeah.
Definitely, we need it.
Great. This is Dr. Finn. It's a great idea.
I mean, I think the thing is about just being able to be able to kind of go somewhere you can attract, and it keeps it a system that's structured, so we don't have to go left and right or think or have anything fall through the cracks. I do for myself, so I'm very structured in that aspect. And I know technology sometimes is very scary, but if we need to, we can print it out, bring it to our board meetings, and then we can provide it and say, hey, this is what's ongoing, what's going on. But yeah, I agree. I like that.
And if you make a motion, I got you. If you make a motion, I got you.
I'll show it to you guys. I actually am almost done with making it, and I will show it presented during the general board meeting. So can we take a vote on whether to bring this to the general board meeting?
Go ahead. Karen got a question.
I would like to describe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right here. Since you're like a champion snack person.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
You're our champion snack person.
Yes.
How is are we aware of how our community is doing as far as getting their resources?
So this is a topic that I'm going to speak on in a bit too, in terms of SNAP and the and what's being done with the Department of Disability Services. So this is a second. I have three things that I'm bringing up. The first one was the community concern law, but that's like the third thing. But I promise I'm going to talk about that too. Yeah, I have a whole thing to talk about that I've been working with Kevin C. Riley's office on.
So wait, do we need to make a motion so that we can present the Excel sheet at full board? We don't have quorum.
Wait a minute.
We can vote it.
Okay. So Javid, because we don't have quorum right now, we have to make a motion at full board, okay?
Okay, that's fine. That's everything. All right. Nope. So the second.
Sorry.
Make sure it's on the agenda.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Ursula to put it on the agenda.
Sounds good. All right. So for the second thing, which I'll actually go towards what you just said about the SNAP and EBT information. So I've been working with Kevin C. Riley's legislative directors, and this is an update for everyone on finding a way to expand SNAP benefits. There was a presentation that I did a few board meetings ago on expanding SNAP benefits so that people that have SNAP and EBT within New York City can use their benefits at healthy restaurants throughout the city. So this got pretty far up and it almost made it into state legislation. The issue was that it got shot down because of the Trump administration's, basically their goal to strip as much funding from SNAP and EBT as possible. And this kind of basically like shot down the EBT and SNAP expansion program that our community board wrote a letter of support to and that I had presented on. So the workaround for this was that I worked with the legislative director from Kevin C. Riley's office to basically make community boards a liaison for the idea that I brought up to them was that community boards know their communities best. We know the restaurants in our communities and we know the healthy ones inside of them as well. And the idea was that Kevin C. Riley's legislative director was going to create a bill that essentially gave community boards trainings on how to train how to connect with these healthy restaurants and get them the resources that they need so that they can offer their healthy food to the already approved people that can use their EBT benefits, and that are the elderly, people that are homeless, and people that are disabled. The bill, and just as a reminder, the bill that we had brought up forward in the beginning a few board meetings ago was for everyone that had EBT to be able to have access to this. But since we cannot get to that everyone status because of the current federal climate, what we're doing now is to make community boards a bigger stakeholder in helping our local healthy restaurants be able to have the training needed to get the resources they need to offer those EBT benefits to their clientele that are part of the elderly, are part of the disabled community or are people that are experiencing homelessness. So I just wanted to provide that as an update. And as for how we know what we know about the community members inside of our community that have SNAP and have been affected by the government shutdown, I believe the information is very limited. I believe that the city councilmen and the state legislators have been really heavily involved in updating people in the Bronx about local food shelters and about where they can get food and how they can still use some leftover money that the New York State had for benefits. But in general, I believe the government shutdown had been completed, and we're still waiting information on how that's going to affect SNAP. So, any comments on this agenda item?
Karen said, "Thank you for the information."
You're welcome. Thank you so much for
I have a question. Isn't that similar to the restaurant meals program that's already available?
That is exactly the restaurant meals program we were talking about. So what our board had came up with, what I had brought to the board and what our board had wrote a letter of support was to expand the restaurant meals program so that anyone with EBT could use their EBT at restaurants that were deemed by the Department of Health as a healthy restaurant, and they would be conducting surveys. The Department of Health would conduct surveys at these health restaurants, such as your local salad shop or your local juice store, so that people in that are using EBT could eat there. The issue was that currently the RMP with the restaurant meals program only serves people that are disabled, homeless, or people that are elderly, exactly. So the plan was to expand it. We were not able to expand it given the federal climate. So now the plan is to expand it as much as we can within the confines of what's already allowed and make sure we get the word out so that people that are within these three groups of people that are able to utilize the program are aware of it and are using it to its full potential. Does that answer your question?
So is this just about providing the information to the people who are already eligible to use that program?
It's to both. So it's to provide the information to the people that are able to use the program and providing the information to restaurants within our community so that we can give them the training resources to be approved as an RMP provider so that they can provide it to those community members.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you, Javad. So we're gonna continue. Wait, you're still done? Or you done? You good?
I have one more agenda item.
Okay.
This is something else I'm going to bring to the board. So I'm going to read it to you guys. Let me just pull it up here. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So my last agenda item was a letter to the Department of Social Services requesting quarterly progress reports and meetings with our local community board and community boards all over New York City. So I'm bringing this letter that I wrote to this committee seeking support to bring it to the general board to send to our borough representative for the Department of Social Services to improve our community by strengthening our partnership with the shelters within our community. Because we as a community board have built stakeholder relationships with various city agencies, whether that be the Department of Recreation, whether that be sanitation department, whether it be our local precincts, but our relationship with our local shelters hasn't been as strong as it can be. And I believe that we have a lot of resources that we can use to make sure that these, not only like some very bright, and our whole board is filled with such bright and intelligent and very connected individuals, but we're filled with a lot of people that can definitely make sure that our shelters that are within our community are operating at their best. So that way we can really lower the amounts of complaints that shelters might bring about and make sure that if they are in our community, that they're operating at a good standard. So I'm going to begin to read the letter for you so that you guys can hear it. So it says, Dear Borough Director, we here at Community Board 12 writing respectfully to request that the Department of Social Services establishes quarterly meetings with New York City's community boards, where a representative of Department of Social Services can share updates on progress being made towards supporting unhoused individuals and their families. Community boards represent the voice of local neighborhoods and play a vital role in ensuring shelters, transitional housing, and supportive services are responsible to and responsive to community needs while creating genuine pathways to recovery and stability. Unhoused individuals are community members, and therefore our board's goal to improve the outcomes for our community means working towards improving the outcomes for unhoused individuals that shelter here. By providing regular updates and data metrics, Department of Social Services can help community boards become more active partners in assisting local shelters to achieve their goals. This can be the form of helping information on resources the community has, events of interest through advocacy to our elected officials, and board members can also provide notes from our perspective on how Department of Social Services can improve care to the individuals that they take care of in our community. Some suggested indicators for reporting to during those quarterly meetings that Department of Social Services can bring to us are shelter stability, which is the average length of stay and the percentage of residents transitioning into stable housing. That's how many people enter a shelter within our community board and what percent of them transition into stable housing within a given time period. The next metric would be important for us to be able to communicate with the shelter system would be pathways to housing. The number of individuals placed in a permanent supportive housing, rental assistance program, or reunited with their family. The next would be employment and income. The percentage of residents gaining employment or enrolling in a job training or educational program. And the last metric would be safety and quality of care, which means incidents of safety concerns within shelters and their resolution rates. One of the biggest problems we have inside of our shelters in New York City, and the reason why we have a high rate of street homelessness, is because shelters are, by and large in New York City, a lot of them are not safe. And they use barrack-style shelter systems, which leads to increases of street homelessness because homeless people do not feel safe inside of the shelter system, where they could be sexually assaulted, mugged, or have a crime taking place while they're staying in one. And the last paragraph the letter says, additionally, if Department of Social Services has any opportunities such as participation programs, volunteer work, or neighborhood activities for community members to work in, community boards can assist in the spreading of this information. And we believe this initiative will significantly strengthen the trust, transparency, and collaboration between Department of Social Services, shelters, and the neighborhoods they serve. We already create a very robust relationship with all other city agencies. It's time we do the same with the Department of Social Services and the shelters within our community. And I hear all of your thoughts on how, to what extent you believe this will be valuable for our board.
I'm probably gonna need to read that. That was a lot. I will not.
For sure. I sent it to Ursula to send it to everyone. So I'm not sure if it got to your email.
Yeah, it was in the email today. I just need to actually, like, we probably all just need to
For
read
sure.
and like digest it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. That makes sense.
How do shelters manage their, how do the clients in the shelters, how do they eat? Do they eat at the shelters or they eat on the outside?
No,
So
it depends on the
it
shelter.
depends. It depends on the shelter. Not all shelters are provide food. Not all shelters provide showers. They're very different. They vary very differently from shelter to shelter.
So when you say unhoused, I'm confused. When you say unhoused, are you talking about the people that don't have permanent homes that live in shelters, or people that are still on the street?
So unhoused individuals is the same as saying homeless people. That is it's synonymous with each other. There are variations of homelessness that people experience. There are people that live in unstable housing. That means that they might not have a permanent home, but they know maybe a friend that allows them to sleep inside of their house or apartment from time to time. But that isn't a stable housing condition, and they leave. Unstable housing could also be a transitional shelter where they have like a family shelter. It could be a mother with their kids inside of a family shelter, right? Or that isn't in permanent housing. The definition varies very greatly. But the idea of this letter is essentially to make a better relationship between the community board and the shelter, so that we can see to what extent they are meeting their goals. So that way we can see if we can provide any value to those community members, because the point that I'm trying to make here is that because unhoused individuals live within our community, that makes them community members. And because we are a community board, that means that we serve them as well. And we should be doing everything we can to make sure that their health and the health of our overall community is taken into account.
I agree. If we can only get a updated health assessment of our community. So we're lagging a couple of years of a health assessment.
That's right.
And that's it.
Yes.
That presents the problem overall. Like, how do we get a survey out? How do we know what our community continues to need unless we have an updated survey?
No, I agree with you on the updated survey thing. And this is something that we brought to multiple councilmen and state senators on multiple occasions. And they have said that this is something that they're working on for the next year that they're going to move forward with. And it's another thing that I've been working with Kevin C. Riley on, is making sure that they have an updated health survey.
Cool. Alrighty. So, I mean, I work with shelters too with my clients. So I see that sometimes they don't even stay here. So, but sometimes they are part of the community for a short period, but you don't know where they're gonna go, because that's why we're doing the whole housing, affordable housing, because we're trying to get people in placement. So some of my clients, they end up going to Long Island, Staten Island. I have a family who came from Georgia, but they're about to then leave and then go to Queens. So it's like, it's cool in the sense of knowing the metrics and providing the resources for them. I guess it's good to just know in general, but again, we do need all those components of what are their health. They're coming in with, now we have an increase of individuals with diabetes. Now it's like, okay, these people they're more health conscious or more sickly people coming into our communities. Do we have the resources to support them? So it's kind of like thinking about those components.
It's exactly the idea. Yes.
All right. You're good? Are you still going? Or you?
That's it. Those are all my agenda items. Thank you guys for listening.
Good.
I just want to give a quick shout out before we move on to our next presenter, to our ADA, Janisha Tai. Happy to see you on board.
Next one, and again, we're gonna go now to Daryl.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today?
It's Movember, so I didn't know about Movember. So it's about the men's health, and I think you're about to cover in that area. So
yeah, thank you. I think one of the things that came to mind, right? I don't have like a PowerPoint presentation, so I'm just going to speak from the heart here. Was I started thinking about just working in a hospital and the things that I see. So one of the things that I've always noticed is like prostate cancer, right, among men. So
Daryl, hold on 1 second. We can't see you.
You can't see me?
Yeah, you see a black screen.
It's black
wow. Oh, I knew it. There I am.
Hey, all right. Go ahead.
So good evening, members of the community board. So one of the things, so usually September is really Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, but it's something that I don't think that many of us speak about, and it's something that plagues men, particularly Black men, amongst a lot of our communities. So just some of the statistics I want to talk about. So like basically 1 in 8 men are diagnosed in their lifetime. My father being one of them. You know, if he didn't catch it early, maybe when I was in school and actually take early interventions, we don't know where he would be today. So it's one of the things that are very close to my heart. So Black men particularly are 1.5 times more likely to get prostate cancer and twice as likely to die from the disease. So there are some organizations in the Bronx, like the Institute for Family Health, that are already working with like the New York State Department of Health to kind of direct like a peer-led education for Black men aged 45 to 69, because that's really in the 40s is when men should really start screening. And for screening in general, like screening is a very lifesaver, right? Because this is a disease that most of the time you're asymptomatic at the time of the diagnosis. So this is why it's really important for men that are maybe at age 40, especially men that are at higher risk, those being some with multiple first degree relatives diagnosed at an early age. So for me, it's something that I would have to do very early on in terms of screening. Men that are 45 that are high risk, including all Black men with a father or brother or son who had prostate cancer before the age of 65. And the average man, any man at the age of 50, this is something that they should really talk to their healthcare provider in terms of initiating screening at this time if they don't have a family history at all. So then we have the next age group, which is age 55 to 69. So this is the age range where men benefit the most from screening. Share decision making with their doctor. Yes, go ahead. So screening is simple. It typically involves first a blood test. So I think what men are really scared of is the rectal exam. So before you have to do any type of digital rectal exam, you get a blood test, and the blood test will, if elevated, the PSA is elevated, then you would have to do a digital rectal exam. So I think trying to get over that stigma and speaking to men about the importance of screening and how it can essentially save their life in the first place, because when this disease is caught too late, the mortality rate at 5 years is maybe over 80%. So it's something that you almost can't escape just from chemotherapy and things of that nature. So that's pretty much what I was thinking, and thinking about who we can work with or how we can empower men in the Bronx to take control of their health in this state and kind of detect this cancer early and ultimately save lives if possible.
That was good. That was good. First of all, I think that first blood test is very crucial. Like, I think if we just make a campaign just around that and call it first blood test, like, let's check that out before they even go in. Oh, first, no, something that's cool.
Yeah, can we just not name it that though?
Here you go.
One thing I just wanted to say, this is Dominique. I would love if you could give us a video of you saying that, like explaining exactly what you're saying so that we can put it on social media. I cannot recreate what you just said and in the way that you said it and made it so relatable. So if you can send us like a minute and we could put this on our social media page so that we can get this, I'll say a minute to 3 minutes, Alfred, you said. So like in that vicinity so that we can get this information out to the community so that they know what is going on. You understand? I would greatly appreciate that.
No, definitely I could do that. I just got to go to the barber shop first.
You say you want to go to the barber shop? Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you again so much. Next up, we have Miss Simpson, Miss Sheba Simpson.
I just want to let you know that there's a person here with us that said the Queen is looking very tired.
Go ahead, Miss Simpson. Are you on?
Morning and late. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. She's educated. Okay, sorry.
So, good evening, everyone. It is my very much pleasure to be with you this evening. Thank you, Talene, and the other members of the Bronx Community Board for always including me in this always engaging and informative meeting. Tonight, I wanted to discuss caregivers. November is National Caregivers Month. A time in which we should honor, uplift, and thank the individuals across our country who quietly yet powerfully hold families and communities together. Family caregivers are the unseen heroes of that live among us. They are the ones who wake up early, like myself, to prepare medications before heading to work. The ones of a parent through an uncertain diagnosis or help a child navigate challenges that others may not fully understand. As a parent of a child with a disability, it is always at the forefront of my mind when I engage with my students who are students with disabilities, how affected their disability affects their families. They give their time, their energy, their hearts, often without asking for anything in return. Recently, I had a young man who I was speaking with, and he was asked where would he like to live when he grows older, and to whom he would like to share his home with. And his answer was very proud and very simple. He said, with my mother so I could take care of her. And that was my glow for the day. That moment captured the essence of what caregiving is, right? Love that comes full circle. It reminds us that caregiving is about a responsibility. It's a reflection of the deep bonds that connect us from generation to generation and from heart to heart and love to love. But caregiving is not easy. We know that it can be exhausting, isolating, very overwhelming at times. And many caregivers put their own health and dreams on hold to make sure someone else can live with dignity, with pride, comfort, and love. Yet, even though through the hardest days, they show up because love does not ever clock out, even in the midnight hour. So, this month and every month, I want to say thank you to all the caregivers. Thank you to the mothers, the fathers, sons, daughters, spouses. Thank you for those caring for aging parents, children with special needs, veterans, and neighbors who need a helping hand. We all embody compassion in action. I just want to take a moment because I'm all those things, you know? Beyond gratitude, we must also commit to support our caregivers. Caregivers deserve more than just our praise. They deserve, I'm sorry, y'all.
Feel your compassion, caregiver of an 85-year-old and a 92-year-old, my mother and my mom. It's not an easy job. Do it because it's who we are. We take care of our parents. I know it sounds like a cliche, but we all also have to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier said than done, considering the fact that I was in the hospital ER this weekend because of neglecting myself because I have to take care of people. So we have to give that baton over to someone else because you cannot take care of someone else if you do not take care of yourself. You know,
Thank you.
It's like a plane. You gotta need to put your oxygen there first. And even if it's to someone else to say you're doing a great job. And I know it's easier said than done, but give yourself a hug every now and then. Because you are.
Thank you for that.
You are blessed and wonderfully made, and God gives you a mission. And you're doing your mission. Praise the Lord for you.
Ask her to tell you that she wrote a book.
You wrote a book? What's the name of your book?
My book is called I'm on.
We got. You gotta say it again.
It's, I'm on assignment.
It breaks up.
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, please put
Because
it.
you're breaking up those last few words you broke up and I didn't get the name of your book.
I'm on assignment, and so I'm on assignment, and so are you. That's the name.
The name of the book is I'm on Assignment, So Are You.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, I wanted to say thank you to all the givers. Please know that you are not alone. You are passionate and backbone in society. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Miss Claude. Sorry, Miss Claude. Yeah, see, I'm learning. One of the chairman. All right. See. That's why teamwork makes the dream work.
This is one of our co-chairs from the Library and Cultural Affairs.
Wow.
Okay, my name is Joan Claude, and I'm one of the co-chairs of this committee, Committee 3. Today, my research is on mental health awareness. Mental Health Awareness Month is observed to promote education, acceptance, and early intervention. Also, to break the stigma and prioritize one's well-being. It is observed that 1 in 5 adults in the United States experience mental health illness annually, and 1 in 6 youth ages 6 to 17 experience a mental health disorder each year. Mental health is a condition that affects a person's thinking, feeling, behavior, or mood. These conditions deeply impact day-to-day living and may also affect the ability to relate to others. If you have or think you might have a mental illness, please know you're not alone. Mental health conditions are far more common than one thinks, mainly because people don't like to or are scared to talk about it. None of this means that you are broken or that you or your family did something wrong. Mental health is no one's fault, and recovery can be had. You can help yourself with recovery by starting treatment early and playing a strong role in your own recovery process. Okay, that's it. I didn't want to do a long thing. So if questions, ask Dr. Sherry. I'm not a doctor, I just did a research.
Can I add to that?
Can you what?
Add. She'd like to add to it.
Sure, go ahead.
One of the things that I wanted to add also to talking about mental health is one, it is seasonal depression time. So everybody just be aware of that, because with the daylight savings time, it's very hard for a lot of people. You know, that feeling of really it's hard to wake up and it's really hard to kind of get motivated and doing different things. One of the things last month I did was at the FEC, which is the Family Enrichment Center at 3535 Holland. We did a World Mental Health Day, and I had a presentation there where I really talked about breaking a lot of the stigmas of mental health, and that we really need to get out of this mind frame that, you know, mental health only looks one way. You can be functional depressed and not even know it. If you're just coming home and doing the motions and doing the same thing every day, it is definitely functional depression. And we are also born into a system that makes us depressed. I ain't gonna get too much into it today because I could go on the soapbox and talk about it all day. But I just say that to say we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. One. Two, we need to make sure that we're checking on our loved ones and our close friends. Sometimes it's okay also to say that you are not okay. There is nothing wrong with that, and we need to start normalizing that it's okay not to be okay. So sometimes we just need a simple check-in. Sometimes we need a simple conversation. Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to, or sometimes we just need somebody to be on the phone and not even say nothing. So I say that to say, let's just make sure that we're checking in with one another and making sure that we're good to some level.
So, and I can add to this, Kamar. I grew up with my mom being bipolar, and I was exposed to it from the age of 10. So I think one of the things as a young and working in the community, sometimes even the youth, the young kids don't even know how to identify what even their parents are going through. I don't think I've seen my mother. I didn't understand it until I got to college. Then I was like, oh, my mom is depressed, but it's also manic, right? So this is more hyperactive. They're not sleeping. And I remember she haven't had a episode for 15 years, and she had one this February. So my childhood trauma came back, and I had to learn to let her take and be empowered. Because sometimes we try to do all of everything for everyone, but when I gave her the ability to learn her own diagnosis and her own stuff, so utilizing again therapy, utilizing medication management if they need that, utilizing those a group. So I got her also into something that has been utilized lately. It's called a clubhouse.
Yep.
There's one on Fordham that's on Webster. It's called Venture House. I feel like we need one in our community where you have to have a mental health diagnosis to even qualify. So they'll vote you in to make sure that you're not endangerment to the community or to the other members. And once you get in, they have a whole bunch of resources where they're able to go out together, go to events together, bowling. They even get to work a job part time to get them back acclimated to the community. So it gets them from being alone and get them out the house and being amongst other people who share similar things, so they don't feel like they're by themselves. I'm really big on community. So even if you are going through it, find a community, and I think a clubhouse is a great start just to be around other people who are sharing the same journey, and you can always learn and grow from each other. But again, as somebody who grew up with it, seeing it all the time, as if you do see somebody who does go through it, empower them, give them I'm with you. Yes.
Can you please share this with the community board and share? I mean, it just so happened to come out of her report, but the information you just gave is so important, and I don't think I'm not aware of that.
Yeah,
that you have that club, that we
know.
even have that. And
Yeah.
we definitely would need something like that in our
I think they
community.
just passed a law that they wanted more in the communities,
Right.
and there's only 2 or 3 in the Bronx.
Because what I have found with mental health is that some people are overdiagnosed, overtreated, and once you're diagnosed, we say to people it's okay not to be okay. Yeah. Right? We say it. And then everybody has a diagnosis. Insurance dictates how many sessions you can have.
Correct.
And then it's what's next.
What's next?
So I did the whole Bellagio training.
Yeah.
Right? When Shirley did the whole training part 1, training part 2. But what I found from doing some mental health programs is that now you have a diagnosis. What's next?
What's next? Correct. So the community helps destigmatize the aspect of being labeled with that condition and learn how to basically again excel. And I'm loving it. Yeah. All right, guys.
That's the dream team.
I mean, yeah, social media. All right, social media is always social media. So again, I think right now, again, I'm always gonna push. We know we need to just get. And I feel like sometimes everybody can kind of step into it. If you guys want to just record, we have 5 questions. You can definitely get the spotlight. I love some of the people that we have speak as well, like Daryl. Again, that's something we can talk about again with that aspect of men's health. Dr. Sherry always gives great topics. even Ms. Claude. So even that mental health component, we got to keep getting by it. I know that as we're going to the holiday season, we're gonna just really plan out stronger. But I think we just want to develop and grab as much content and things of that nature, so we can really show the community what's going on, who we are, and educate them through that component. And yeah, it's in the works. It's still in the works. Everything is up. What's the community? What is it? CB12, BX12 Connect.
Yeah.
BX12 Connect is our Instagram if you guys haven't followed us yet. And then we'll work on TikTok and everything else like that. But just my plan is to really, we want to do it right. We want to do it right. So we want to do it right. Anybody has a question? Nobody, right?
Can we do Daryl's in June?
Daryl?
We talk about men's health.
Yeah.
With the real important, what
Men's
health awareness.
June? Okay. All right.
Will be great.
But even November, I know it's this month. So we'll figure what that is.
So he said he'll make a video.
Yeah.
Daryl said he'll make a video. All we have to do is get the video from Daryl and throw that up on the Instagram.
I might do his homework. Everybody has to do his homework.
I like that because of the fact that we need men
No, sure.
to get that checkup.
Sure. That would be good to get a community health data, just kind of get a report to see what that looks like in general, what our community looks like.
But to talk about it anytime, it doesn't have to be specific, like mental health, prostate cancer is so much on the rise.
Yeah.
And early, it's all about
I think it went on mute. I can't hear anything anymore.
Why could the camera the thing on by our mouth?
Yeah, he was saying great things about it.
No, he heard. I just pressed unmute, so he probably heard the majority.
Oh, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I did hear. I was blushing.
All right.
All right, cool.
Very good.
Daryl.
All right, so I think it's the last piece, right? Stakeholder corner.
Last session.
Last session. So it's, if we have any other stakeholders who would like to speak, one of the things they say, the community stakeholders are key to thriving community. So we want to know if Yvette, Outer Pilot, got Sherry,
That's
no, I know. No, I know.
I don't know who.
Yvette, Outer Pilot? No? Okay.
Going once. Paulette Spencer.
Paulette Spencer.
Going once.
John, does he have anything to say?
John, do you have anything to say?
John Isaacs.
John Isaacs.
No, I actually just enjoying the conversation. It's really good. Actually, my son is actually type 1 diabetic, and we found out when he was like 14 years old. So, what my wife said, younger than that, yeah. So, it was just interesting. It just brought back a lot of memories because we didn't even. I mean, we knew because we actually volunteered at the Diabetic Foundation down at the Javits Center. So we know the symptoms, but it was kind of was crazy. It was shocking.
With it yourself.
Yeah.
A whole different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Marilex Santana, do you have anything to say? Janisha. Oh, I see somebody. Came on.
Just listening. Thank you.
No problem. Ms. Spencer? Anything you want to say, Ms. Spencer?
You're on mute.
Yes, this has been really wonderful listening to this meeting this evening, and it's really very inspiring to hear all of these great programming activities that are being carried out. I work with the Bronx Community Health Network, and we're going to be opening our clinic on White Plains Road and 218th Street in the first part of 2026. We've come and we've presented before the board, I guess a few weeks ago. And since then, we have we partnered with one of the barber shops nearby, and gotten a sense of what some of the health and social service needs are of his clients. And we had our first of what hopefully will be many opportunities where we set up sort of our tabling before the barbershop and sign up community residents for social services that are offered by our community health workers, as well as information concerning health in general. So it's very inspiring to hear about the great sort of creativity in the work that's being done to allow people to have greater access to food through the restaurants that are hopefully will become part of that statewide program for people with SNAP. I'd love to hear more about that because that was something that we had considered doing, kind of promoting having more restaurants become members of that program. So it would be great to sort of see if we could do something together with Councilman Rowley. But thank you so much for having this meeting.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. We meet the second Thursday of every month. Benga, do you have anything?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you. Just listening and learning from everyone. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Ms. Ashley Jones. Ms. Ashley Jones, anything you want to say?
Ashley, can you hear us? No. Okay. So I guess that's it.
I'll make a motion to end the meeting.
Second.
I'm gonna give it to Karen. Everybody, thank you for showing up today. We really appreciate it. We will see you again next month. Have a good night.
Everybody, thank you guys.
No problem.
Have a good night, everyone.
Don't forget next
Good night.
Thursday.
Next Thursday.